Welcome back to the Overwatch Open. We are here, best of 3 between Team Liquid and TSM, and it's going all the way to the third map. I'm Jorisar, here with Joshi, and this series, it has been what we expected so far. TSM a little bit on top, but Team Liquid giving them a good run for their money.
Yeah, I think it's actually, possibly, if he had asked me for a series score, I might have said 2-0 TSM, so I'm glad he didn't, because then I would look foolish. But now I've basically admitted that I thought TSM was going to run away with the series. Liquid doing a great job there, fighting back, proving me wrong there on Gibraltar, which is confested, my favorite map. So
yeah, it was really good.
Good job there, Liquid. And we will be going to a third game. Actually, is that the first time today? I feel like it's been a lot of 2-0s. I haven't cast a 3-game series yet.
We've had some, I guess, close 2-0s where both victories were hard fought, but you're right, there's just been a lot of 2-0s, and it's great to actually see things going down to the wire in this third game. So a very, very competitive match. Team Liquid, I guess you could argue a slight underdogs. I bet if you ask Team Liquid, they would say otherwise. And TSM at the moment, I would say a dominant performance last week, but in reality, in the final, EnVyUs were on another level. But there's a reason they're the points leader.
That's every round, though, for EnVyUs, basically. Yeah. So it's actually pretty far and few between where someone actually even takes a game off of EnVyUs. I think in their current match streak, they've got over 40 match wins, I believe, now.
Not
in a
quite
row.
55, but getting there.
But that's 4 of the team did get 55 in closed beta as IDDQD. 4 of the EnVyUs squad actually did have that impressive run in closed beta with Mendo Kasai and Tavik, actually, way back then.
Wow.
But that was a dream team of a different era, a bygone time, and now EnVyUs, of course, with Tailspin and Taimu just wrecking shop at every possible opportunity. But we are here on Kings Row. You know about Kings Row, right? You're from London.
Yeah, man. I used to live off of Kings Road. So I actually lived in Chelsea, just off Kings Road, for 6 years of my life. And I can tell you guys, for what it's worth, doesn't quite look like this.
I actually lived in a suburb in South Carolina growing up where all the street names were England themed. So I lived on Manchester Road for the bulk of my life.
Manchester Road.
And there was Tennyson Way and several other British sort of things. Lancashire. I learned how to pronounce Lancashire correctly as an American, where everyone else called it Lancashire.
Lancashire.
Yeah.
Leicestershire. We've got all of the names down. Right, we've started the map, ladies and gentlemen. Liquid are going to be trying to attack into this first, and Kefri, again on Widowmaker, showing us that even in this current meta, these beautiful heroes do not necessarily fall by the wayside.
Yeah, Kefri on the Widowmaker still just firing away. This is the Widowmaker lore map where she battles against Tracer, and no Tracer on the other side, fortunately for Widow, so she should have an easy time. Harblue on that Roadhog, as we see time and time again. Nicholas is going to be sporting the Junkrat this time. JKW goes down very quickly. Not sure exactly what happened there. ID on the far end actually attacking in with that Junkrat. It can be a little confusing just because of the orientation right now. They came through the hotel, and the defense looped around through the apartments, so things are a little bit backwards from what you normally see with the blue team back here and the red team coming in. But ID and the rest of the Liquid crew scooping a couple of kills. AZK gets that kill on Lucio, which is going to be huge for them. We've got, is that Harblue looping around through the hotel now, under half health, but he's going to get the hook combo. Doesn't get the kill, though. 14 health on AZK as he finishes off Harblue.
And I guess the challenge at the moment for ID is that ideally the rest of the team sort of focused in front, so if they all go through the hotel or similar, and Junkrat has one target to do a lot of damage. Right now, though, TSM, they're kind of in all directions, although admittedly Liquid has been able to deal with that so far. I can't say ID has had, like, one place where so much damage has been done. He's looking for that opportunity.
Yeah, ID does have his tire now available. I think I said it earlier in the cast. Junkrat doesn't really, quote, go off because he's just not that kind of character. If he gets a kill, he can't immediately hunt down another.
Yeah.
But the tire certainly can do some damage if it's sneaky enough, basically, which can be quite tricky. So I always respect the Junkrat players who can use walls to their advantage. Look at that. That was so fast. The Fire Strike came right through the tire and killed it instantly. That's got to feel bad when a regular old E from Reinhardt just negates your entire ultimate.
Yeah, it's pretty rough. I mean, it's not exactly stealth mode either when someone goes, fire in the hole!
True.
You just have to hope that they ignore you for a little while. Harblue absolutely clearing the decks there with Whole Hog. And TSM looking to seriously put a dent in Liquid's time on the streets phase here. And, well, I mean, it is going to force them to regroup.
Yeah, several ults available on both sides. We'll see who's going to draw first blood, or at least, pop first ult, I guess. See here the Deadeye there from Torque, finding a couple of skulls in his sights. Does get the kill on Mezzer thanks to some help from his teammates there. Harblu gets the kill on ID, and it looks like a pretty even trade across the board. Defense probably getting the better of it, in fact. But a long run back here for Nicholas and Torque, their 2 damage dealers, means Liquid may have an opportunity actually to get back in the fight sooner. Harblu getting that kill on AZK, though, definitely going to stall them for some time.
And like you were saying, Harblu on Roadhog, if you're able to just let him get in there and just casually hook 1 or 2 people and try and insta-kill that, it just makes it so much more difficult for a comprehensive team fight. And at this level of Overwatch, it's all about that comprehensive team fight. You know, oh my god,
goodness.
not again.
And he doesn't get the kill again. Lucio getting enough healing out to save his life there. Torque now throwing the flashbang over the shield, doesn't quite get it. There's the Deadeye from AZK. Looks like he shot Harblu, but didn't quite get the kill off of it. ID does finish him off, and it's going to be the Liquid members starting to fall now. Kefri gets the kill on JKW, so still kind of even. Liquid could make something happen here. No ults really available on either side. With Nicholas going down now, though, that does give the edge to Liquid. ID is going to get the kill on Joemeister as well, and they're going to start this push through the streets finally.
You do have to be a little bit careful without, you know, your main tank in front of the army there. But all they did was fall back a little bit, look for clear lines of sight so that you can actually get your Zenyatas firing through. You have a good line of sight for McCree, and after picking Nicholas off, like you said, they were able to push forward again a little bit more and buy some time for Meza to rejoin the front lines.
Deadeye available for Torque now. Will he use it to zone, try and slow the offense? Yes, he does pop it, gets the speed boost as well, try to get into position. A couple of members went into the subway there. Oh, gets the kill on Minstrel, though. Showed his face just a little too soon. Joemeister also down on the side of the defense here. Liquid still kind of keeping things as even as they can with Torque and Joemeister down. This could be an opportunity again for Liquid. They do eliminate JKW. That's a great pickoff, trying to kill that tank. Harblu's in the back trying to gas up, but with that Orb of Discord, Reaper makes short work of him. Kefri impressing once again with his Reaper play. He does have Death Blossom available, does not need to use it against a lone Zen. Of course, Reaper's going to go ahead and flee back to his team, and I believe Liquid should be able to get the checkpoint off of that push.
Yeah, I think so. There's not too much in the way of resistance now. They will be able to complete that. 4 minutes and 19 seconds left to go as they try to complete King's Row. And we'll see what more obstacles TSM can actually throw in their way as they travel across the final dogleg here, heading into, I guess, the industrial warehouse that is the end checkpoint.
It is a very interesting place that they push into here, but the Graviton Surge not being used just yet. He did lose one of his damage dealers very quickly, and they are taking care of the defense. Look at that. Torque actually plummets to his death.
I like the shot on the way down as well.
Well,
just, for good measure.
Just to make sure you get the elim, right?
Yeah.
You don't want him to fall off to full health.
He was actually down on the kill feed as suicide.
Oh, was he? Okay.
Easily.
But he did get the elim, I thought. Anyway, doesn't matter. AZK's gone. He's fallen into the void.
Oh,
so,
dear.
Now as the defense tries to set up again, they've got Harblu moving to that D.Va as he typically does. Sound Barrier comes out to keep them alive as long as possible. Dehang goes down on the side of the attackers. ID actually falls as well, so losing a couple of core members. Kefri does get some kills, though. They could continue to roll here. It's going to be D.Va mostly who provides a nice defense for the side of TSM, but that Zen ult from Shake going to last a little bit longer. Shake's going to get surrounded, but not... oh man, look at that Torque actually blinking and immediately dying. But a pretty good time set actually here by Team Liquid, surprisingly fast, under 6 minutes. 5 minutes 53, 55
yeah,
or so. We'll find out soon what our official clock time will be, but I would say that's above average for King's Row. TSM does have their work cut out for them a little bit after letting that previous map slip, Gibraltar.
Mm-hmm. I think, yeah, like you say, just under 6 minutes, a pretty competitive time. And we'll see what ends up happening. 5 minutes 53 is going to be the official time here as the teams swap aside and get ready for the second half. Team Liquid at the moment, I guess, really looking to sort of summon their inner strength and say, actually, we can do this, we've got this. And at the moment, I feel like, especially Kefri, I want to call out the Widowmaker. He's been doing quite well on Reaper as well. He's just been really versatile as a player and very good at adapting to the different situations that TSM seem to be throwing at them.
It's actually pretty impressive that Kefri has that kit with Reaper and Widowmaker, because they play completely different. Widow is obviously never wants to be part of the action, just wants to be lobbing in Venom Mines and taking headshots as often as possible and not be bothered by anyone, whereas Reaper essentially is just always in the thick of things looking for those juicy Death Blossoms. So the playstyle's a bit different. Normally if you see a Reaper main or someone doing exceedingly well on Reaper, you're going to see them go with a Genji or a Pharah, more projectile kind of flankers, whereas Widow is doesn't really flank at all. Sometimes you'll see a very rare flanking Widow can get a headshot or two before they realize she's back there, but she's just so much more at home. Shooting from perhaps this top perch here as JKW looks like he's setting up for. I do expect JKW to drop back down onto the Reinhardt as he typically does, or at least some tank. Nicholas is going to be doing that offensive Junkrat that we talked about before as being a great shield breaker and a nice choke breaker. As we move forward on King's Row, we'll see if they stick with those. JKW does end up on the Reinhardt as expected. Harblu still on the Roadhog. Will Harblu go with the flank though? Where is his flank route here on King's Row? He's got a number of different options. Could go through Hotel. Looks like that is going to be his first choice. Waiting for basically any body to show up in that doorway, but the Reinhardt shield barely blocks him.
Well, Meza was looking towards him as well, wasn't he? He was like, hang on a second, I've seen this before, I know how this plays out. So very, very wary of the threat he posed, and Harblu goes around the edge, does see a couple of targets, but unfortunately just misses the hook. Gets AZK anyway.
Shield is broken though, yeah, easy pickings on the Reinhardt, and that's unfortunate. That's like Reinhardt's scariest matchup. Once that shield breaks, you can see him actually run back behind the Hotel. But that's such a huge target, yeah, and it's so easy to hit that hook for someone like Harblu, who has like 70% plus hook accuracy every single time anyway.
That wasn't even a hook, that was just like the
It was a finisher.
Yeah. Finish him.
It was like a decapitation almost by hook.
It looked pretty, it does look pretty brutal. You don't want to be on the receiving end of that anytime soon.
I definitely don't want to be anywhere near Roadhog, actually, if I can help it, yeah.
All right, so that was a pretty strong first point. Just a minute and 6 seconds
elapsed.
Look
where Harblu's hanging out. He's in the subway, just waiting for his team to catch up, but potentially going to get some picks this way. Defense has moved past him now. He literally could pop out at any time.
Man, this could be so sneaky.
And he's crouch walking too to save the volume. Will he find a healer? He's looking at Zen. Oh, he swings and misses right between the two supports. It gets immediately dunked on.
Walk.
That's bad for the attackers. They did actually get a pretty good amount of distance, though, from A to B while that was going on. Unfortunately, losing Harblu is going to actually stall them for some time. There are a couple of ultimates available on both sides. You can see the Zen Transcendence available on each side, so likely going to come into play.
That was a great play, though. It was cool. Just the very final step that didn't quite work out for him.
If he had hit the hook,
that's it.
Game on. It's 5v5 at the worst.
And it's Harblu. You expect him to hit the hook as well. So maybe he'll try that again. You don't know. They, of course, will be knowing it's coming now. And we have the sound barrier coming down now on the side of TSM. They are holding strong at the moment against Liquid. But it is basically 4 versus 6 right now. So they do have to give them a little bit of space. The more... Oh, man. They didn't fall back, did they? And getting... Very, very nice double kill there. Meza going to be cleaning up, and wow. Okay, almost the whole of TSM there.
This is actually pretty interesting now, as about 2.5 minutes have elapsed. We're getting close to about half of their time bled off the clock, and Liquid's still standing very strong very early in the map. A was taken, obviously, in about a minute, but that happens to the best of us, you know? This stretch is really where you can put up a really nice defense.
#1 points position versus 0 points currently. Yep. Is it too early to start hoping for Team Liquid here? As we move on in, wow, ults going off absolutely everywhere, but the kills are happening on the side of Team Liquid. 6v3 versus TSM right now, and AZK is not stopping there. He is pushing everyone all the way back. TSM now starting to get worried.
Yeah, Kefri getting a couple of final blows there. AZK obviously lending his damage into that fight as well. Things are looking good for the McCree Reaper combo that Liquid continues to run with here. You can actually see the offense has adapted the McCree Reaper as well.
Yep.
Harblu still, swapping off of the Roadhog is what I meant to say. Zarya now in play, as Graviton Surge really can break these chokes in a way that Roadhog cannot.
Yeah, they definitely can. There's only so many places you can actually stand, and quite a lot of heroes tend to be together. And speaking of a lot of heroes together, Kefri absolutely agrees, getting the triple kill. Harblu disappearing in the process as well, and Liquid have the full team
Respect
wipe
me.
on TSM. Respect me indeed, and all of a sudden. Wow.
Well, Kefri will probably enjoy these VODs, as we have been singing his praises for his Reaper play kind of throughout, so I know that these pros go back and watch the VODs just to gain intel on their competitors, but when the casters say nice things about them, they typically sport a grin after that. But 4 minutes, actually, about to be bled off the clock, and only 6 minutes, basically, to finish the entire map. Things are starting to look kind of bad for TSM. Liquid is looking really good. Mezer now gets an immediate kill on Torque as he pinned him into the other Reinhardt. It looked like he was between two Reinhardts.
Sandwich. That is not a place you want to be.
Brutal. I'm not sure if he clipped the wall or what, but he definitely died 100% to that charge.
It's definitely an ex-McCree there, unfortunately. All right, so the payload is going to be moving forward. We should be able to get to the second point, and that actually makes a finish for this map. Very interesting indeed. We've just gone past the 4 minutes and 23 second mark, so that means, guys, there are less than 90 seconds for them to complete this map. Can they do it? Yes. Will they do it? Anybody's
Maybe.
guess right now.
JKW, the only ult available. Earthshatter can be a whole clear if you hit it right.
Yep.
And the team is there to support you. One Earthshatter really can wipe the entire enemy team, similar to a Graviton Surge, but that's asking a lot right now, actually, from JKW. He does hit the Earthshatter, gets a couple of members, but AZK, actually the one getting the kills on both Torque and Nicholas. DPS is gone now. JKW, that Reinhardt is down. Things are looking so good for Team Liquid. Only about a minute left now for TSM to try and complete this push.
That Deadeye started and was only bolstered by Zarya's shield halfway through, so Reaper's rushing in and then very last second going, oh, hang on a second, I can't get this kill. This is a problem.
Oops.
Indeed. All right. Team Liquid now looking to finish this off. 5 minutes and 16 seconds. Still possible for this to finish, but we are looking at minor miracle territory. Oh my god, speaking of minor miracles,
I think it's
make that
over.
a major one.
Yeah, it's turning into major miracle territory. We do have an Earthshatter available once again on the side of, actually on the defense this time. So yeah, Liquid, I think they've done it.
Whoa, Shake!
Only about 20 seconds left, 15 seconds left. This is getting scary now. Earthshatter comes out on the side of Liquid and gets a couple of kills. Shake and Harblu both down. Those are pivotal members. And another Death Blossom from Kefri seals the deal. You gotta think that this is all but over now.
Divine intervention is still possible, technically.
I mean, everyone could DC and then it's a forfeit? No, it's over.
Yeah, that's
it. GG, and Team Liquid pulls the upset on Team Solo Mid.
Absolutely fantastic stuff. So TSM, the finalists last week, doing an incredible job, but this week, maybe getting unseated just a little bit by Team Liquid, who are now plowing through the bracket. They have no points on the leaderboard. They're looking to really ascend, make sure they're in that top 12 so that if they don't get the automatic ticket, let's not forget, they can get that still, right?
Yeah.
They want to make sure they're in prime position to pick up one of those remaining spaces. So 2-1 victory, absolutely amazing. And a man who I know will have a very informed and entertaining opinion on the matter is Mr. Machine himself. How's it going?
Is a strong word, John. I'll try my best to be entertaining. But, I mean, all round, we just got to witness, first of all, a nice 3-mapper. That's always nice. We've been witnessing plenty of these 2-0s this evening. And so it's good to see. I mean, it usually happens towards the later stages of North America, and we do get some often towards Sunday. Sunday is usually where you get your big best of 3s. But yeah, or rather best of 5s if we're lucky to get that grand final going. But it was good to see Liquid putting up a fight, guys. I don't know about you, but I was kind of writing them out. Straight out, like on the opening map, I was kind of just starting to sing and scream about TSM. We had our opinion changed. We doubted these guys, especially with a new roster, Josh. It was kind of, you were apprehensive about getting hyped about Liquid after their first game you casted. You've just casted another game. Now can we get excited about Liquid?
I mean, Kefri is proving to be a valid choice for Team Liquid as a replacement for Dummy. If that if that is going to be the case moving forward, I think they found a good one. So Kefri, well done, both on Widow and Reaper, which is again an interesting skill set, but definitely worked out for Liquid. And I think before the match started, we talked about TSM, map predictions, all that stuff, and I knew Harblu was going to bring out the Roadhog on Hollywood. They did win that map, but then I had no idea the rest of that was going to happen. Gibraltar was a very close one. Again, here on Kings Row to finish things off, still pretty close, but Team Liquid edged them out.
Yeah, and actually, just while we're talking about Harblu, of course, Roadhog is a discussion worth having. Towards Kings Row, that play from Sewers was rather exciting. It could have been cool. Didn't quite play off. I mean, pay off rather. Like, it was down to basically if he had hit that hook, that was a different fight altogether.
Yeah, if he had hit either the Lucio or the Zenyatta, he kind of threaded the needle right between them. But if he got either of those supports and then ended up dying, even if he ended up dying, you're taking a healer out of the equation. That does give the edge to your damage dealers in your team. So it could have been a completely different story there.
What do you think about the discussion surrounding how much he stuck with Roadhog? Because we saw right towards the end there, towards the closing minutes, he did make the transition towards Zarya. Do you think that transition could have come a little sooner? I mean, you said already, Graviton Surge does help break dog legs like that, or stalemates like that, more than Roadhog can, unless you have a crazy hook like that.
Yeah, so the hook is an instant kill combo most of the time. He actually missed a couple on McCree, unfortunately for TSM. Actually, even those hooks where McCree survives with 10 health, that could have completely flipped. But any of those times, any of those games where that occurred. But he's also got Roadhog also has an instant kill opportunity from range with that right click. If he hits the sweet spot on that spreading shotgun blast, he can headshot and destroy anyone basically if you hit it just right. So Roadhog again, I think kind of a risky pick. Harblue definitely has the proficiency on it to reduce that risk, but you're right, Zarya, I mean, if it had come out maybe one death earlier, could have definitely accelerated them enough to beat that time.
Same kind of sentiments from you, John? I mean, could have seen a bit more of Zarya. And another discussion I do want to start is surrounding Gibraltar, and we got to see a few unfamiliar faces. You know, we got people starting on Widows, we got to see a 76 crop up. Don't know what it is about Gibraltar, we get to see something a bit different.
It's the point at... So knowing that it's actually quite close between somebody picking two heroes is great. It's the point at which you switch over that's always the point of contention. You were saying yourself just now, Roadhog switching over to Zarya, one death earlier. It's like, do you hold on to an ultimate?
Right.
Do you switch a little bit earlier? Can this hero's abilities and skill set still be useful just a little bit longer before it actually transitions into a slightly different playstyle? And sometimes it will depend on what the enemies pick. Ultimately, if you have really high DPS but squishy heroes, but they are getting in your face, like you say, the insta-kill on the hook is absolutely fantastic, and you're going to have to be tracking them like mad with Zarya, right? But where's the crossover? That's always going to be the eternal question, and obviously the pro players know a lot better than we do on the panel.
That's true.
But it's I'm not even sure how much easier it is to see from a spectator's point of view, to be honest. It's really difficult to judge, and that's why the pro players are the pro players.
It sounds stupid, but sometimes it is just that feel thing, you know? Like, you have a feeling like what is needed here. You play so much. I mean, of course, as time goes on, they'll get this feeling more often, but it does, as a player, no matter what your game is, you've been in that scenario X amount of times that you know what's necessary at that point in time, and you just make that split-second decision. And we're going to make a split-second decision to go to a quick break. We're going to go ahead and catch our breath before our final game of the night. This is, of course, going to be mirrored tomorrow. We get our semi-finals, our grand finals, all happening tomorrow. But before we get there, we have to find out who is going to be joining the successors from our previous matchup. Now we get to see Luminosity, a team no stranger to the later stages of the Overwatch Open. They're going up against Sodipop. Who will prevail in this game? We will see Girl after the break.